Part 131. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1310. The four of them were at a loss. They didn't understand why Yu Yang called them over suddenly and asked why. But seeing Zhuangjia's ugly face, they could guess that it might have something to do with her, so they didn't ask too much. When all four people left and the door was closed again, Zhuangjia couldn't help asking Yu Yang, is it possible that it was someone else? I think there are people living in rooms 305, 307, and 310 on this floor of the dormitory, but why, have I offended anyone? Don't be afraid, nothing will happen, Yu Yang comforted her. It's just that his tone was light, as if he was thinking about something, a little absent-minded. The bus seems to have a real name system, and your ID is damaged, so you can't take the bus. He pondered for a moment, then said, I need to lead a team into the mountains in the afternoon, so let's arrange someone to take you back. If I make a phone call, I have to hurry to reissue my certificate and bank card. Yu Yang took out some cash and a credit card from his wallet and put them into Zhuangjia's wallet. Until it's reissued, I'll use mine for the time being, he said. Zhuangjia pursed her lips, held his hand, and shook her head slightly. She still looked terrified. Yu Yang thought of Zhuangjia's illness, and probably guessed that Zhuangjia didn't want to ride in a stranger's car. She had always been terrified of the opposite sex. She was able to come here in Li Rui's car because Li Rui was his assistant and she believed in him. Now that this kind of thing happened, Zhuangjia's symptoms were serious, like a frightened cat, suspicious and ready to explode at any time. How could he be willing to drive with a strange man in the same car? How about finding a female driver for her? At this juncture, where would he find a trustworthy female police officer who happened to have no mission? Yu Yang thought for a while and asked her, I'll ask Hu Fangfang to come over to accompany you in the afternoon. I'll be busy here for another 2 days at most, and then we'll go back to Qingjiang together, is that okay? Zhuangjia nodded. This is agreed. Yu Yang looked at her restless appearance, and felt that she was pitiful. Apart from his heartache, he also found her cute and touching. As a man, he probably couldn't avoid it, and he really likes the feeling of being completely dependent on the woman he likes. He hugged her into his arms, gently stroked the long hair on the back, and said in a low voice, I should know who it is, but now the investigation is imminent, and there is no time, wait at most 2 days, 2 days later, I'll take care of it. When Zhuangjia heard this, her heart shrank. Who is it? Yu Yang was silent for a while, as if he had scruples. He didn't say it clearly, I'll tell you when I get back, I can't tell for a while now. Zhuangjia stopped asking. When the incident first happened, Yu Yang Fenming didn't know the identity of the other party. After asking the 4 assistants, he said that he knew who it was. The answer was obviously one of the 4. But why didn't he say it? Is it because there is no evidence, or because it will affect the case this time? Or is it another, even more unknown reason? Zhuangjia was panicked. She was trying to control, trying to adjust her emotions. She knew what was wrong with her, she couldn't help but associate bad things with everything. The more she thought about it, the more frightened she became, and the more she thought about it, the more she frightened herself. Her doctor called this psychological suggestion, implying some non-existent crisis, which made her live in fear, and eventually led to severe heterophobia, a little social disorder, and inappropriate mild persecution paranoia and so on. Zhuangjia tried her best to think positively. For example, the man didn't hurt her when he came in, he just destroyed the bank card and ID, and then pinched her. She did not lose any money and was not physically harmed. It's like a prank. If it was really just a prank, why did Yu Yang hesitate not to say the other party's name? Okay, she was back to the original point, and started to radiate negative thoughts again. So, among those 4 people, who actually lied? Fell asleep. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1311. Zhuangjie felt that the other party should be a man, because she couldn't imagine a woman would pinch her ass. Could it be Li Rui? Or Tang Linhao? Li Rui likes Song Jingru. As for Tang Linhao, she doesn't know much about him, and he seems to be a serious person. People's hearts are separated by belly, even if the scope of suspicion is narrowed to only 2 people, she still can't tell who it is. Zhuangjie's mind is very confused now. She knows that if she tells Yu Yang that the person not only cut up the bank card and ID card, but also touched her buttocks, Yu Yang will definitely not let it go until 2 days later. But, she couldn't speak. The 2 stayed in the dormitory for a while, and Yu Yang answered several calls one after another. It could be seen that he was really busy. Zhuangjie let go of the hand holding his arm. If you have something to do, go and do it. It's okay, I'll stay here with you. Yu Yang put away his cell phone. The operation of the police station will start in the afternoon, and there is still time. Zhuangjie was silent for a while, then murmured, I shouldn't have come. If it wasn't because of my hot-headed running over, I wouldn't have encountered this kind of thing, and it wouldn't have affected Yu Yang's work. Her rash character really should be changed. It's not your fault that this kind of thing happened. Yu Yang touched her head and said with a light smile, and I'm very happy that you can come. Zhuangjie leaned on his shoulder and said nothing, still depressed. At noon, the 2 of them went to the cafeteria to eat, and the 4 assistants were all there. Yu Yang briefly talked about Zhuangjie's affairs. Because I can't take the bus, I don't feel comfortable letting her ride back alone, so I stay here for now and go back together after we finish our business, he said flatly. Li Rui and Tang Linhao are still staying in the hotel for the next 2 days. After hearing this, the 4 of them remembered the matter of being called to the dormitory for questioning in the morning, and they all knew it well. Song Jingru originally had a problem with Zhuangjie, but now she was a little dissatisfied and said, if you don't want to leave, just tell me, who is acting for? Zhuangjie lowered her head to eat, and raised her eyes when she heard the words, what do you mean by that? Li Rui was afraid that the 2 of them would quarrel, so he quickly winked at Song Jingru. Yu Jianqi is sitting next to him, so if you want to piss someone off, you can't do it face to face. Song Jingru ignored him at all, and replied in a choked voice, the things have been in your own bag all the time. Don't you know why it was cut? Even if someone really entered the house and wanted to prevent you from going back to Qingjiang, just take it away. Isn't the wallet simpler? Why bother shredding ID cards and bank cards? After finishing speaking, he complained in a very low voice, others are almost too busy, and they are still looking for trouble here. Zhuangjie was angry, and was about to refute when Yu Yang beside him gently put down his chopsticks. It was a very casual movement, but the people on the table were silent at the same time. Your analysis is good. It is indeed much more convenient to take away the wallet directly than to find tools and spend time destroying the documents, Yu Yang said slowly, but if she wants to stay, just tell me, sir. You don't have to destroy your own stuff, that's really superfluous. Song Jingru bit her lip and said nothing, but her expression was very unconvinced, as if she felt that Yu Yang was stunned by a scheming woman. She was both sad and disappointed. Yu Yang asked her, have you finished writing the review? Song Jingru showed embarrassment and lowered her head, no. Yu Yang stopped looking at her and turned to ask Zhuangjie, are you full? Zhuangjie nodded. The food was not to my liking, and the people across the table were disturbing her, so she couldn't eat it. The 2 left the cafeteria and returned to the dormitory. Yu Yang said, don't worry about what Song Jingru said. She should have been protected too well by her family since she was a child. She lacks the ability to analyze and judge problems, which is too simple. Zhuangjia asked, do you know her family? You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1312. Yu Yang shook his head. I don't know, I guess, if it wasn't for the family's protection, I can't understand why she is still in her 20s and still maintains the childish behavior of a teenage girl. Zhuangjia burst out laughing, feeling that Yu Yang's mouth was very poisonous. In a better mood, Yu Yang smiled, wrapping his hands around her waist. I'm usually not used to speaking ill of people behind their backs. Yes, you are used to saying it face to face. Zhuangjia smiled, because you are her boss, so you have the responsibility to educate her. Yu Yang was non-committal, and said lightly, Song Jingru has indeed lost her composure today. If she continues like this, she can only see if other prosecutors are willing to take her. Both public and private, Yu Yang thinks that there are many problems with Song Jingru's performance. There is nothing wrong with liking someone, but she is wrong in bringing her personal emotions into work and venting her anger on Zhuangjia. The result of this is that Yu Yang neither recognizes her feelings nor her ability to work. The loss outweighs the gain. Zhuangjia thought about Song Jingru still writing a self-criticism, and the last bit of depression in her heart dissipated. Being scolded by the mistress is certainly annoying, but with the support of her boyfriend, I feel that I can ignore everything. Zhuangjia's mood improved, and she joked, it's unlucky for anyone to fall in love with you. If you don't get a response, you will be taught a lesson, haha. She was cheerful and laughed for a while, seeing that Yu Yang's expression was unexpectedly tense, and he was looking ahead with deep eyes, not knowing what he was thinking. His appearance made Zhuangjia feel a little strange. What's wrong with you? Zhuangjia was worried, and asked him softly, did I say something wrong? Yu Yang came back to his senses, looked at her and smiled faintly, it's nothing, just thought of something else. Zhuangjia stared at him blankly, feeling strange in her heart, strange. In the afternoon, Yu Yang set off with the people from the police station, and the assistant only brought Li Rui and Tang Linhao. Considering that the suspect was likely to hide in the mountains, and Hu Fangfang and Song Jingru were relatively poor in physical fitness, they stayed. Before leaving, Tang Linhao arrived late, and when he appeared in front of everyone, he surprised everyone. Because he looks really scary. One eye was black and blue, the corner of the mouth was also bruised, and the lips seemed to be cracked, with a few strands of blood remaining. Li Rui's eyes widened, didn't you be fine just now? Why did you become like this in a blink of an eye? Who did you fight with? Tang Linhao wiped the corner of his mouth with his hand, and replied indifferently, it's nothing, I fell down. Li Rui's eyes widened. This kind of injury, even Zhuangjia could see that it was beaten. But people said it was a fall, and they obviously don't want to explain the reason. Maybe it was a fight and lost, so I'm embarrassed to say. Or let Xiao Tang stay. A police officer leading the police station said, looking at Yu Yang at the same time, this operation has enough manpower, Xiao Tang can participate in some backup missions if he stays. What does Inspector Yu think? Yu Yang glanced at Tang Linhao, and said indifferently, the opportunity for on-the-spot arrests does not come every time. This kind of experience is invaluable for a trainee prosecutor. His injuries are all on his face, minor injuries and minor pains, no action. Let's go. After he finished speaking, he got into the car first. Afterwards, Tang Linhao also got into the car. The rest of the people looked at each other in blank dismay, and set off one after another without wasting any time. Cars sped away one after another. Zhuangjia looked at the shadows of the cars going away, and couldn't help wondering, how did Yu Yang know that Tang Linhao's injuries were all on his face? You saw it too, Hu Fangfang came over suddenly, and said with a smile, Tang Linhao must have been beaten by the prosecutor again, right? Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1313. Zhuang Jia was taken aback, and turned to look at her, again. Does he often beat Tang Linhao? I thought you knew. Hu Fangfang looked disappointed. She probably thought that she could get some information from Zhuang Jia, but she didn't expect that Zhuang Jia knew nothing at all. This, isn't that good, Zhuang Jia said in surprise, beating someone. Hu Fangfang shook her head. They seem to have known each other before, and I don't know the specifics. Anyway, one time, I saw them coming out of the men's room. Tang Linhao had injuries on his face, and he had obviously been beaten, but it's strange, every time after the beating both of them acted like nothing happened. Zhuang Jia was even more confused after hearing this. The longer I get along with Yu Yang, the more I realize that there are many mysteries about him. Mystery can bring attraction, but it can also bring a sense of distance, especially when in love. It can make people feel uneasy. This is how Zhuang Jia feels at the moment. She was really worried that this relationship would end without a problem like the previous ones. After returning to the dormitory, Zhuang Jia was alone, with nothing to do. In fact, she can play with her mobile phone and check Weibo, but she is depressed and can't cheer up. For a while, he thought of the shredded documents, for a while he thought of Yu Yang's abnormality, and for a while, he thought of Yu Yang going to the deep mountains and old forests, and wondered if there would be any danger. Looking down at the bath towels and quilts on the bed, Zhuang Jia sighed softly. This walnut town really makes her feel bad, and she really wants to leave quickly. Zhuang Jia picked up her wallet and decided to go to the street to buy a new bed sheet, preferably some snacks and instant noodles. She would rather eat instant noodles than face Song Jingguo's face in the cafeteria. When passing by Hu Fangfang and Song Jingguo's dormitory, the door was open. Hu Fangfang saw her and said, "Do you want to go out? I'll accompany you. You don't know this area well, so don't get lost. I'll go to the supermarket, and I won't go too far," Zhuang Jia explained. "I told you before the inspector left, let me take care of you more, let's go together." Hu Fangfang stood up while talking, and put on her coat neatly. "I'm going to buy some drinks by the way." "Hey, Song Jingguo, do you want to go?" No. Song Jingguo sat on the bed and typed on the computer without looking up. Zhuang Jia maliciously speculates that she is busy writing the review. "Aren't you going to buy sanitary pads?" Hu Fangfang said. "I don't have much left, so don't ask me to borrow any more." Song Jingguo's face was slightly stiff, and she was deeply displeased with Hu Fangfang's unabashed way of speaking. Zhuang Jia thought she would not go, but Song Jingguo got out of bed and put on her shoes with a face of reluctance, as if she was going to go out. Su is that Hu Fangfang, as a senior, is somewhat majestic in front of Song Jingguo. The three women went to the largest supermarket in the town together to purchase what they needed. During the period, Zhuang Jia and Hu Fangfang would occasionally talk, while Song Jingguo was like a peacock who was angry and haughty throughout the whole process without saying a word. After coming out of the supermarket, they waited for the green light at the crossroads with large and small shopping bags. There are not many vehicles in the township, but the traffic is chaotic. Electric three-wheelers and motorcycles are rushing through the traffic. Pedestrians seem to be used to it, and they rush forward before the light turns green. Zhuang Jia felt unsafe and wanted to wait and see, but the people behind her walked forward and staggered 2 steps forward with her body. It will come to a steady stop, and suddenly there is a strong force behind it. Hit her straight into the middle of the road. There was an ear-piercing sudden break, followed by the driver's furious roar, "Looking for death? Don't you have eyes when crossing the road?" Zhuang Jia was so frightened that she almost lost her heartbeat. She lay on the ground in a daze, and it took a while to recover. She looked around, not knowing where to put her eyes, and only saw the things in her shopping bag scattered everywhere. In panic, I heard Hu Fangfang scolding, Song Jingru. Why are you pushing people away? Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Hua Liao. Chapter 1314. I didn't. Song Jingru's expression was terrified. I bumped into her because someone pushed me. The surrounding environment was noisy and chaotic, with pedestrians coming and going. How could it be known who pushed Song Jingru? I really didn't mean it, she defended herself loudly again. Passers-by nearby looked sideways, or looked at, or discussed. Hu Fangfang didn't believe Song Jingru's words, and said coldly, you can do it yourself. After finishing speaking, he walked quickly to Zhuangxia, helped her up, and then bent down to help her pick up the scattered things on the ground. Are you okay? Hu Fangfang asked Zhuangxia. Zhuangxia shook his head, opened his palms, revealing the worn scars. Wearing thick clothes in winter, the fall just now didn't hurt her, only the skin on her palm was scratched. But what if you get hit by a car? She stared blankly at the scars on her hands, and remembered the electric tricycle just now. It should be impossible for this kind of car to directly hit her to death, but it is still very easy to hit her head and bleed. So, is it Song Jingru's impromptu revenge? Or was it really just an accident as she said? Zhuangxia was in such a bad mood that she didn't even have the thought of being held accountable, so she followed Hu Fangfang back to the dormitory. In the dormitory, Zhuangxia went to the bathroom to wash the wound with cold water, and treated it briefly. Hu Fangfang came over with the potion and reminded her, be careful of Song Jingru and stay away from her. Her eyes are smaller than the eye of a needle, and she has a very strong temper. She doesn't consider the consequences when she does things, just like a child who doesn't grow up. Very childish. Childish. Yu Yang also commented on Song Jingru in this way. Zhuangxia silently took the potion from Hu Fangfang's hand. Hu Fangfang added, before I thought she was unusual for prosecutors. Last time, prosecutor, you said that she had an appointment after get off work, and something went wrong with the documents in her hand, and they were all shredded in the shredder. You said how could it be such a coincidence? Usually the documents are well organized, but the inspector is going on a date, and she made such a big mistake. I think she is obviously delaying time, and doesn't want to let Inspector Yu go on a date. The more Hu Fangfang talked, the more angry she became, and she was filled with righteous indignation. This time she must have done it on purpose. It means that the prosecutor is back, and I must talk about it. Zhuangxia pursed her lips and said nothing. Hu Fangfang only thought she was tired, told her to rest more, and then left the room. Zhuangxia was really tired. Since coming to this town, almost all the things that happened were related to her. If someone hadn't deliberately targeted her, then she really could only use the word unlucky to describe her fate. Lie on the bed and close your eyes to rest. Not long after, there was a strong knock on the door. She sat up and was about to open the door. At this time, she heard Song Jingru scolding outside, why are you so shameless? You broke your ID, stayed here and refused to leave, and acted hypocritically. I didn't push you at all. Don't even think about it. Throw dirty water on my head. Let me tell you, I'm not afraid that you will find the prosecutor to sue. Sooner or later, he will see clearly how vicious you are. Song Jingru's scolding voice was full of tears, both grievance and grief. Zhuangxia listened silently for a while, then lay back on the bed, pulled the quilt to cover her head. She didn't want to hear anything. There is only one thought left in my heart, and that is regret. Really shouldn't be here. If she hadn't come, so much wouldn't have happened. If she hadn't come, she wouldn't have known so many things. Was Li Rui's invitation to come to Hudao town just a moment of enthusiasm? Is Song Jingru's jealousy towards her so great that she wants to kill her? When Hu Fangfang told her these words, was she trying to provoke her, or was she watching the fun? Was Tang Linhao's beating related to her? For a moment, Zhuang Jia only felt that the whole world was full of malice. No matter who it was, she couldn't help but suspect that the other party had ulterior motives. She couldn't believe anyone. She curled up under the quilt and closed her eyes tightly, thinking that Yu Yang would come back soon. I'm sorry, I accidentally laid the foreshadowing too long. I will finish it tomorrow, I promise. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1315. Yu Yang didn't come back all night. Hu Fangfang got the information from the police station and found out who kept the monkey, but there was no one in the other party's house, so he suspected that he had hid in the mountains. Now the brigade has guarded several intersections going down the mountain, and some police officers went into the mountain to search for people. Yu Yang, Li Rui, and Tang Linhao also stayed there and couldn't come back for a while. It feels like a very important action. Zhuang Jia sighed after learning about it. Hu Fangfang said, in such a small place, there are rarely a few homicides throughout the year. This time so many people died, of course the higher UPS take it seriously. Did a lot of people die? 5 of them died, and 1 was injured, who is being raised in the hospital. Zhuang Jia was a little frightened, so she couldn't help asking, the raptors in the mountains are so fierce. Hu Fangfang explained, it's a bird called the black-eared kite. It's relatively big. People here call it a soil eagle. But the cause of death was not being nagged by the bird, but falling to death. There is a long and steep stone staircase in the village. It has been repaired, but the repair funds have not been approved. If people walk on it, if they accidentally fall down, they will be seriously injured if they do not lose their lives. He Yuan chose that place to attack people, swooping down in groups, even a strong man is no match. Zhuang Jia was terrified when he heard that. This bird obviously took advantage of the right time and place to bully people. It won't be dangerous for Yu Yang and the others to go there, right? Hu Fangfang shook her head. He Yuan is not stupid. Every time she picks out those who are alone, if there are several people walking together, the animals will also weigh their own strength. After finishing speaking, she sighed to herself, and said in annoyance, now I just don't understand, why every time He Yuan attacks people, it happens to be the family who has entered the mountain ghost at home. A monkey is hard, can you still command the birds in the sky? It's so strange. Seeing that she was very concerned about the case, Zhuang Jia comforted her, when you catch that person, you can ask him and you'll know what's going on. Hu Fangfang smiled when she heard the words, yes. The two were talking in the dormitory. Song Jingguo came in with a pot of hot water, saw Zhuang Jia was there, and sneered, Inspector, you hasn't come back all night, you are still in the mood to chat here. Zhuang Jia. Hu Fangfang chuckled, yes, you are the one who cares most about prosecuting in the whole world. We are all cold-blooded and don't care about prosecuting. Song Jingguo glanced at Zhuang Jia angrily, put down the kettle, fell asleep on the bed, turned her back to the two of them and ignored them. It's weird. Hu Fangfang snorted and said to Zhuang Jia, let's go out and buy some breakfast. Zhuang Jia doesn't have much appetite, but it's boring to stay in the house, so it's better to go out for a walk, so as not to think about it. The past 2 days have been sunny, and there has been no snow. The snow on the side of the road has melted and mixed with dust, making the sides of the road muddy. Zhuang Jia walked slowly with Hu Fangfang, passing a steamed stuffed bun shop. The business was very good, many people were queuing up to buy steamed stuffed buns. Do you eat steamed stuffed buns? Hu Fangfang said, so many people buy them, they should taste good. Buy more and take them home. Zhuangjia didn't want to spoil the fun, so she went to line up with Hu Fangfang to join in the fun. She lined up dispiritedly, and after a while, Hu Fangfang suddenly touched her elbow lightly, and said in a low voice, "Look over there." Where to look? Zhuangjia didn't know why. Hu Fangfang winked at her again. Zhuangjia looked up suspiciously, and was surprised to see a monkey squatting on the low wall next to the bun shop. Because of the gray fur and squatting motionless, she almost didn't see it when she glanced over. The monkey has been staring at the steamer, probably hungry and wants to eat buns. He came to the town again. Hu Fangfang said in a low voice, "Maybe the person they want to arrest is also hiding in the town." Blessed to have each other in this life, Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1316. Could it be other monkeys? Zhuangjia asked. Yu Yang said that there are many monkeys like this in the nearby mountains. It's this one, Hu Fangfang said firmly. Look at the back of it. Zhuangjia was puzzled and couldn't see what was hanging behind the monkey. It looked like a leather hat or a waste paper shell. Perhaps the gaze of the two men startled the monkey. It turned around and ran away along the brick wall. Don't let it run away. Hu Fangfang stuffed the bag in Zhuangjia's arms and immediately chased after her. But monkeys jump up and down on brick walls and roofs, while humans can only run on the ground. How can they catch up? The monkey saw someone chasing him, so he ran away faster. Zhuangjia watched helplessly as Hu Fangfang chased into an alley. She was holding the bags of two people in her hand. She didn't want to keep them, she didn't want to chase after them, she was in a dilemma, finally gritted her teeth and simply chased after them. The alley made many twists and turns, and she was out of breath from running, but fortunately there were not many forks, otherwise she would really get lost. When Zhuangjia caught up with Hu Fangfang was sitting on the snow with her knees bent, rubbing her ankles with a painful expression on her face, and there was a muddy slip mark under her body, which obviously slipped while chasing a monkey one fall. "Are you okay?" Zhuangjia gasped and asked, "Is it all right?" Hu Fangfang shook her head. "It's okay, it's just twisted." "The monkey ran away?" Zhuangjia asked. "Well, but it must be running away to where its owner is. If you look in this direction, you may even be able to find people and monkeys." Hu Fangfang raised the object in her hand and stretched it out in front of Zhuangjia, and look at this, it fell from the monkey. Hu Fangfang held a soft rubber mask in her hand, on which was a simulated human face. Zhuangjia was stunned. Is it wearing this mask and crawling into other people's houses at night to scare people? Hu Fangfang nodded. It should be like this. After finishing speaking, he bit his lip and rubbed his ankle, and said annoyedly, "If the monkey hides in the mountains, it will never be found again. If you want to convict the criminal, you can only rely on this mask. There must be fingerprints left on it or something like hair. I have to send it to Inspector Yu quickly." Zhuangjia helped her stand up and said, "You can't walk now, let's talk about it when they come back." "No," Hu Fangfang insisted, "since the evidence is found, it should be handed over to the prosecutor as soon as possible. This is the rule." She hesitated for a while, then looked at Zhuangjia. "You can send it there for me." "Me?" Zhuangjia's eyes widened. "I've never been to the village, so I don't know the way." "Anyone who stops a tricycle on the side of the road knows the way. You ask the driver to take you to the entrance of the village. As soon as you enter the village, you can see the police sent by the town." Hu Fangfang said. "Inspector Yu is with them. Son, you will come back with them when the time comes." Zhuangjia showed embarrassment. "It's not that I don't want to help you, but I'm afraid that if I go to the wrong place, it will delay your business." "It can't be wrong." Hu Fangfang stuffed the mask into her hand. "Hurry up, don't waste time, remember not to wrinkle the mask, so as not to damage the evidence." Holding the mask, Zhuangjia hesitated. "Then you?" "I'm fine, at worst, go slowly, leave me alone, Go quickly, Hu Fangfang urged anxiously. Zhuang Jia had no choice but to leave with the mask. She couldn't figure out how important this mask was, but seeing Hu Fangfang's urgency, she was worried that she would delay their handling of the case, so she quickened her pace subconsciously. It's really a disadvantage to be unfamiliar with the place. After searching for 2 streets, I saw a few 3-wheeled motorcycles resting on the side of the road to solicit customers. She walked over to ask someone how to get to the village. It happened that Song Jingru was out shopping, passing by here, and heard Zhuang Jia's question. Song Jingru immediately said bluntly, "Are you still shameless? The prosecutor is going to handle the case, why are you going to join in the fun? Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again." Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1317. Zhuang Jia's face was extremely ugly. In front of everyone, she didn't want to quarrel with Song Jingru, so she replied coldly, "Hu Fangfang asked me to send this over as soon as possible, saying it is very important physical evidence." Hu Fangfang, Song Jingru was taken aback, her eyes fell on the soft rubber mask in Zhuang Jia's hand. Why doesn't she go by herself? She sprained her ankle and couldn't walk. Let you go if you can't walk. What is Hu Fangfang thinking? You don't know the way. What a fool. Song Jingru pulled the mask over and got on a 3-wheeled motorcycle. "I'll take it to the prosecutor, you never mind." Zhuang Jia sarcastically said, "I didn't want to take care of it at first. Some people are too busy writing a review, so I, an outsider, have to lend a helping hand." Song Jingru's expression froze slightly, and there was a hint of unhappiness in her eyes. She stopped looking at Zhuang Jia and urged the motorcycle driver to drive quickly. The sound of the 3-wheeled motorcycle's engine was extremely ear-piercing. Zhuang Jia stood there, frowning and watching Song Jingru leave, feeling very bad. She really hates Song Jingru. He obviously has no fighting power, but he has to come up to fight every time, which makes people very angry. Zhuang Jia walked forward unhappily, and after a few steps, remembering that Hu Fangfang was still in the alley, she turned around and walked back. But when she returned to the alley, she didn't see Hu Fangfang, so she had already gone back. Zhuang Jia sighed, feeling that he had made a big detour and walked many wrong roads. But Song Jingru had already taken the things away, so there was no need to hurry now. She felt sorry for her overworked feet, and walked slowly back to the dormitory. When passing by the security booth, a garbage truck came out of it, and Zhuang Jia covered her nose and avoided the side of the road. The security guard was acquainted with the driver in the garbage truck, and greeted him, "Old Lu, what kind of garbage is this truck today, why is it still smelling delicious?" "I don't know, maybe somebody sprinkled perfume in the trash." Zhuang Jia was startled. Subconsciously, he let go of his nose-covering hand, and a familiar scent of perfume mixed in with the stench of garbage. She stood there for a long time, until the garbage truck had driven away and still did not move. At first I was confused, then suddenly realized, and then my eyes widened bit by bit, my face turned pale bit by bit. It was shock and fear. Zhuang Jia took a deep breath, the cold air poured into his lungs, and his atrium shivered with cold. She picked up her bag and ran out, running faster and faster, hoping that all this was all her imagination, her misunderstanding. Usually, there are always 3-wheeled motorcycles running around, but at this time there is no one to see. Zhuang Jia is very anxious. After finally stopping one, she was about to get on it when a car stopped beside her. "Jia, Yu Yang sat in the car and looked at Zhuang Jia in astonishment. "Where are you going?" Zhuang Jia was startled. After seeing Yu Yang's face clearly, she immediately ran over to the car window. "Did you see Song Jingru? Hurry! Hurry up and catch up with Song Jingru. She is about to have an accident." She was gasping for breath, and what she said was so thoughtless that everyone in the car was confused. Yu Yang frowned slightly, and opened the car door from the inside. Get in the car first. Zhuang Jia sat in the back seat, only to find that Li Rui and Tang Linhao were there. A police officer was driving, Li Rui sat in the co-pilot, and Yu Yang and Tang Linhao sat in the back. Because of Zhuang Jia's temporary joining, the car became a little crowded. At this moment, she didn't care about these things, and told them anxiously, "Hurry up. Go to the village. Song Jingru went to find you with a mask. The mask is very important physical evidence. Hu Fangfang said that she must hand it to you. Song Jingru robbed me the mask, and the monkey, that monkey will wear a mask. The mask will attract the attack of the black-eared kite. Song Jingru is in danger, stop her quickly." "What the hell are you talking about? What monkey, what mask?" Li Rui was confused, only remembering Song Jingru's name, and asked anxiously, "What's wrong with Song Jingru?" You are listening to novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. Please subscribe to receive new novels. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Blessed to have each other in this life. Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1318. Yu Yang asked the police officer who was driving to turn around and go back to the village. "Don't worry, the road to the village is not easy, she should not have gone far." Yu Yang lightly stroked Zhuang Jia's back. "What happened, tell me slowly." Zhuang Jia tried to take a deep breath, slowed down, and said again, "It's Hu Fangfang, we saw that monkey on the street. She went after the monkey and picked up the mask that fell from the monkey. Hu Fangfang said it was an important physical evidence. I took the mask and went to the village to find you, but the mask was taken away by Song Jingru. I have read the news before. In order to test the recognition ability of birds to human faces, scientists will let the staff wear masks to attack different birds. Some birds have very high recognition ability. And the memory is also very strong. Once you see the person wearing the mask again after being attacked, you will take revenge on the other party crazily. I guess every time the accident happened, the monkey was nearby, and what the bird was going to attack wasn't a person at all, but a mask." Zhuang Jia finished speaking in one breath, and looked at Yu Yang nervously. Before Yu Yang could speak, the policeman driving in front laughed instead. "Inspector Yu, is your girlfriend also in this business? It's almost the same as your analysis." Yu Yang touched Zhuang Jia's head, and said with a faint smile, "She is a designer and has always been good at observation." Zhuang Jia didn't understand, how could they still laugh? Aren't they worried about Song Jingru? Zhuang Jia stared at Yu Yang in a daze, and wanted to ask him a lot of questions, but couldn't ask him a word. At this time, Yu Yang's mobile phone rang. He answered the phone, listened to it for a while, and replied, "Well, I see." Yu Yang put away his mobile phone and said to the people in front, "Captain Zhang and the others have met Song Jingru, please pick her up first. There is not enough space in the car, please stop by the side of the road, Zhuang Jia and I will get off." The car stopped by the side of the road, and Yu Yang and Zhuang Jia got off. There was snow on the side of the road. Zhuang Jia's foot slipped, and being supported by Yu Yang, his body naturally leaned forward and threw himself into Yang's arms, as if throwing himself into his arms. She heard a slight laugh coming from the car. "Inspector Yu, let's go." The driving policeman poked his head out of the car window with a narrow smile, and Li Rui behind him also looked excited to watch the excitement. Yu Yang nodded calmly, "Well, I'll meet you at the police station later." The car drove away and soon disappeared at the end of the road. Yu Yang took Zhuang Jia's hand, put it on his lips, and looked at her. "Are you scared?" Zhuang Jia hesitated. "Song Jingru, is she okay? So many lives have been lost, we will not fail to take any precautionary measures." Yu Yang said, "There is a barbed wire fence around the accident site, birds cannot fly over, don't worry." Zhuang Jia came to a sudden. In this way, Song Jingru is fine. The big stone in my heart fell, and I breathed a sigh of relief, but also felt an indescribable sense of loss. It wasn't that she wanted Song Jingru to be unlucky, but that she suddenly realized that all the crises she had analyzed over and over in her heart didn't exist at all. She was worrying for nothing. This feeling is really unreal as in a dream. Yu Yang led her forward slowly, walking leisurely, like a walk. I thought Hu Fangfang wanted to kill me. Zhuang Jia whispered, when I brought you food, someone put cockroaches in it. When I came here to see you, all my bank cards and documents were cut into pieces, things, was pushed into the middle of the road and almost hit. I gave Hu Fangfang a bottle of expensive perfume, but she threw it into the trash can. If she didn't hate me so much, she would have no reason to throw away the perfume. As she spoke, she stopped and looked up at Yu Yang. Tell me, did I really misunderstand her? Am I delusional again? Should I go to the doctor? Yu Yang Moran looked at her, and for a moment, raised his hand to embrace her in his arms. You're not sick, you're fine. He sighed softly, it couldn't be better. Ha ha. Sleep sleep. Blessed to have each other in this life, Mu Shao, your wife is born again. Author, Hua Liao. Chapter 1319. When Yu Yang and Zhuang Jia returned to the dormitory, Song Jingru had already returned. She seemed to be frightened, her face was pale, and she was sitting on a stool holding a cup of hot water, her fingers trembling slightly. Hu Fangfang said to Yang, the mask has been handed over to the laboratory. When will we start the interrogation? The suspect has been arrested but has not given a motive for the crime. Yu Yang said, you and Team Zhang will participate in the interrogation together. Hu Fangfang was slightly taken aback. Prosecutor Yu, aren't you going to participate? No, Yu Yang said lightly, you and Tang Linhao are responsible for the finishing work. I'll go back to Qingjiang in a while. A gleam of disappointment flashed across Hu Fangfang's eyes, and she could vaguely guess that it was for Zhuang Jia that Yu Yang went back early. Zhuang Jia stood beside Yu Yang quietly, her eyes lowered, and her eyes fell on Hu Fangfang's ankle. The trousers covered her ankle, so she couldn't be sure if she really sprained her foot. Maybe she could observe Hu Fangfang's walking posture later, but she seemed not interested in knowing the answer. Jia Jia. Zhuang Jia recovered and realized that Yu Yang was calling her. Let's go. And she nodded, picked up her bag, and left here with Yu Yang, leaving Hudao town. After returning to Qingjiang, Yu Yang did not become idle. Because the case was solved, he was sent to other places to participate in the commendation meeting, and he also had to study and study. It is said that this is a very rare opportunity, and usually after the end of the study, it is very likely to be promoted. As soon as he left, there was no news. Zhuang Jia looked forward to the stars, to the moon, and counted the days, feeling that she had a fake boyfriend. Later, instead of Yu Yang, she looked forward to another person, Hu Fangfang. The two meet at a coffee shop. Hu Fangfang said to her, in fact, I used to work as a lawyer. When I was in the training institute, my tutor spoke highly of me. After graduation, I successfully entered a very famous law firm. My classmates envied me. I thought I could make a difference in the industry, but then I found out that it was really difficult. Zhuang Jia listened silently, not understanding why Hu Fangfang talked about her past. You probably don't know that a trainee lawyer, especially a female lawyer who is new to the workplace, is equivalent to a handyman in a law firm, pouring water, making coffee, copying materials, ordering takeaway, and occasionally helping to sign for express deliveries. Hu Fangfang smiled slightly, with a hint of sarcasm at the corner of his mouth. There is another trainee female lawyer in the law firm. She is very beautiful. She can devote herself to handling cases every day, and occasionally makes coffee for everyone. Everyone praises her for being considerate, and I do all the dirty work. Dry. I was very unconvinced, and always thought that as long as everyone saw my work ability, they would definitely recognize me. Finally one day, I waited for the opportunity. In order to win a big case, I only slept for 4 hours every night, ate instant noodles for every meal to save time, and even dreamed about reading the closing statement. Then I finally won, and I returned to the law firm with the joy of victory. So, my colleagues also happily celebrated for me. I thought life would be different from now on, but the next day, they still called me as a matter of course, asking me to run errands, make coffee, answer the phone, and print documents. Hu Fangfang looked at Zhuangjia and said calmly, "It's because I'm a woman, and I'm not a beautiful woman." When Zhuangjia heard this, he could probably guess what Hu Fangfang was going to say next. I resigned and took the exam to become a probationary prosecutor. I have to work under Yang. Hu Fangfang's eyes were slightly empty, and he said sadly, "He is very good, he will not despise me because I am a woman, and he will not look down on me because I am a woman. Song Jingru is prettier than me, so I treat her preferentially. He is really nice." Hu Fangfang looked at Zhuangjia again, and said to her seriously, "I like him longer and deeper than you."